What's up? I'm Mike from the Devil Wears Prada, and you're watching BareBonesMusic.com.
Evil G, BareBonesMusic.com. I'm here with Mike from Devil Wears Prada. Mike, thanks for taking the time. Appreciate
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
Dead Throne Tour, this is the last date. Tell me about how this tour's gone and how you feel about kind of wrapping this up right now. And
I think collectively all band members are going to say the same thing. It is the most bittersweet ending to a tour. It's been long, and we did Australia right before this one. So, it feels like we've been out for close to 10 weeks or whatever. But, man, the bands on the tour are just so good. Just great dudes hanging out, getting to play so many songs and play songs from the new record that we've been working on so long. Having a bit of production for our show and whatnot, and just, everything is, ideal. It's
Right.
pretty much the perfect tour. My voice is dying on me now. I am exhausted. I never want to leave my bunk in the morning. So I know physically I should be taking time off now, but at the same time I'm like, man, this is the tour. So it's been absolutely fantastic.
excellent. Dead Throne came out in September. Now that it's been out there for a while and people have had time to digest it and you've seen how people are reacting to it, how do you feel about the record? Do you feel like you accomplished what you set out to do with that record when it came out, that you had time to kind of sit back and...
Yeah, absolutely. Every single record we put out, a few weeks later or a couple months later, I'm always like, oh, I want to do that, or I would do this differently. And although I have certain feelings that way on Dead Throne, where I would do this differently or that, it is by far the most content I've ever been with the record, and sound-wise and lyrically and just everything we got to do, and getting to work with Adam, of course.
Right.
It was, like the last question, it was ideal, and it was awesome. And not to say that when we do the next record there's things I'd like to improve upon, because there is. I will always be that way when trying to make something.
Right.
But I am stoked on Dead Throne, and getting to play the songs live is it's always the end product.
Right,
We call ourselves a live band, so you work on these songs for months and months, and then we only played Born to Lose over the summer on Warped Tour and stuff. So finally getting to play more of that has been such a it's been an awesome release. So we're stoked.
Being that your album, the Zombie EP and Dead Throne, both hit number 10 on the Billboard 200, based on your style of music, I mean, how proud are you of that? Because that's not easy to do, and these days and times, it is not. And for a band like yours to kind of hit that mark.
Yeah, definitely. It is cool to see metal make its way into the top 10 and whatnot. I always, when records come out, I try not to create expectations and be like, oh, it needs to sell this number, because you're really just letting yourself, setting yourself to be to be disappointed.
Right.
But yeah, I'm very grateful for how well both the two newest records have done, and I think With Roots Above was 11 or 13 before that too, and the music industry is dying. People don't buy records,
right?
And it sucks. It's depressing when you think about it. So we try not to think about it, but just the fact that that we can do this and it does make it to the top 10 is wow. We are just kids from Ohio, and originally, and just trying to make music. So I didn't know what the Billboard was back then, and apparently now the record's number 10 whenever we put out a record. So it's cool.
So when you come home, we're in Cincinnati now, about an hour away from Dayton. When you're at home, does it have a different feeling for you? I mean, being that you've achieved a certain level of success, you have your headlining tour, you got your stage, you got all your bells and whistles that you want. But when you come home and you have your friends and family, does it kind of put you back into, we're the band from Dayton, Ohio?
Yeah, it is weird. I live up in Chicago now, which makes that even weirder to come back to Dayton or even Ohio, because it's not to, I'm not saying this negative in any way, but like it's pretty slow around here, you know. It's quiet. But yeah, that's definitely true. And even going home to Chicago, you know, a pretty big city, I still get there and I'm like, you know, my adrenaline is still like, well, I live on my own, but usually, you know, for the past 10 weeks, I've been living with these 12 people.
Right.
And I've been, you know, playing for like, you know, hour 15 every single night and sweating and dying, you know. So it's like, and then you come home and it's like, here I am on my couch and that's my TV and I'm going to watch, you know, Man vs. Wild, and this is it. So it is weird. It's touring is ruining my life very quickly, and I think it's ruining everyone's life on it. So whatever.
Well, talking about your touring, let's talk about 2011 and just looking back on the year and maybe some highlight standout moments for you outside of the record being released and all those great things.
Yeah. We did. Before, we didn't tour the U.S. We didn't play one U.S. show from the beginning of the year till the summer. We did a mainland European tour with Bring Me the Horizon. Recorded a record up in Massachusetts. Actually, we came back from Europe, finished writing the record, recorded the record, went and did, I think it was like 2 or 3 weeks in the UK with Bring Me the Horizon. Came back for I think about a month because Jeremy got married. Went back to Europe and did a few. We did like Rock 'em Ring, Rock 'em Park, Download, and a few headline shows. And then finally we played Warped Tour, and it was awesome because it was like, wow, we're actually back in the States again, because it feels like it has been absolutely forever. We are definitely putting a lot of focus into playing more overseas and outside of the States, and it was cool to see the success starting to come up and more fans appreciate the Devil Wears Prada outside of the States. But then we came back to the States, and it was just like, people missed us, and they were so stoked on Warped Tour and everything, and now the turnouts for this tour have been fantastic. So the year of touring has been... It's had its heartache by all means, but it's been fantastic. I wouldn't want it to be any other way.
From the new record, what do you guys? You start rolling out songs little by little, but what kind of your main staples from the record now that you're playing live right now?
Practically all of it.
Okay.
Whatever we play live.
Sure.
People always, you know, over the years since I started, people always say, "What's your favorite song to play?" And every time I answer it, it's usually whatever our newest song is.
Okay.
I like playing whatever's new. With that in mind, I know that when we're playing this tour, it's practically all of the Dead Throne songs where, you know, like we'll finish a song off with Roots Above or from the Zombie EP, and then it's like, oh, time to play Born to Lose, time to play Mammoth, time to play Kansas, time to play Chicago, and I'm like, yeah, sick. Like this is my song. So
do you have that? Do you have a song that you see coming up and you're like, yeah, this is my song? So I've asked people that and they go, I want to say everyone, but I would say there's got to be one song in your set list where you're like, can't wait to get that song. This is the one.
I can't pick one. It's got to be either Born to Lose, Mammoth, Kansas. And I like playing Chicago and Constance too. I don't know. I like playing the songs, I guess.
All right. So after take a little break here, what do you guys got planned coming up in 2012? You gotta be pretty amped about what you got coming up.
Yeah. We as always, there's the secret stuff we can't say just yet.
Of course.
But outside of that, next tour is right at the beginning of February, God willing, in the UK. Dead Throne UK tour will be a first time over there headlining actual tour, so it'd be cool to be playing the Dead Throne songs and all that. Dead Throne South America, which the wonderful gentlemen of Whitechapel will be accompanying us.
Oh, nice.
So we'll be doing that as well, and then there's the other stuff I can't say yet, but I promise that there's more coming along. And
you'll be back in the States though, summertime maybe. Just say back in the States, maybe.
Back in the States. It's back in the States.
All right.
And we'll have it announced soon. But, you know.
All right, Mike, thanks for taking the time.
Yes, thank you for
Especially
having
being
me.
here in Cincinnati. It's a treat for us because we don't get to talk to them because I know you guys have family, and this is your time to kind of catch up with everybody. So appreciate you sitting down with us. Dead Throne out now. Get the Zombie Slay app out on all platforms now. And good luck in 2012, and hopefully back summer, U.S. states maybe.
We'll be back. I promise. We'll be back.
All right, check it out.